Let's bring back in our national security and foreign policy analyst, Arash Ari Aramesh. He is in San Francisco. Also with us, internet security analyst, Hemu Nigam, the founder of SSP Blue. Thank you for being with us. You know, we should note, it's not just the United States here calling out the North Koreans. The UK warned on Tuesday that international law applies online as it does offline. The United Kingdom is determined to identify, pursue and respond to malicious cyber activity, regardless of where it originates, imposing costs on those who wish to attack up in cyberspace. Hemu, you know, talk about the options over here. I mean, international law applying to North Korea, really?
Well, it's no different than this is a way to look at it. Take what's happening in the online world and put it in the physical world. What you're actually seeing is a country that's sending digital boots into the borders, inside the borders of another country, attacking their businesses and citizens. So I think it's that perspective that the U.S. government, the British government, and other government powers are saying, hey, look, you are actually violating international laws and, in a sense, declaring war or engaging in an act of war.
And Arash, you know, there's been a lot of focus on, you know, North Korea and its nuclear missile capability, those missiles which still have not been able to deliver a nuclear warhead to the U.S. mainland anytime soon. But right now, if you look at the North Korea's cyber capabilities, they can reach anywhere in the world. So is that more of an immediate threat?
North Korea poses both a conventional threat to our allies in the Korean Peninsula and also Japan with its missiles and its nuclear capability, but it also poses a really serious unconventional threat with its use of cyber attacks. Now, we just realized how important it is and how significant these cyber attacks can be. They can shut down multiple networks. They can shut down hundreds of thousands of users and some critical infrastructure. The National Health Service in the United Kingdom was shut down. Not long ago, just a couple of days ago, because of some accident, no foul play yet, but some accident, the Atlanta airport was shut down. You can see the effects of a potential cyber attack on a sensitive military or even civilian infrastructure here in the U.S. that could devastate hundreds of thousands of people. It could shut down lights and electricity. Not only that, it could disrupt commerce. It could disrupt our means of communication. It could disrupt daily lives. So this is the new wave and the new threat. Unfortunately, the public is not very informed about it. And unfortunately, we haven't done a good job informing the public. But steps are being taken. What the Koreans cannot get through provocation, through their missile tests and their nuclear provocation, they try to get by holding other people hostage and getting ransoms through these cyber attacks. So it's a real problem, has to be dealt with. And again, my concern is when a small player like North Korea starts misbehaving like this, what would happen when countries like China and Russia decide to misbehave?
Apparently,
much bigger capabilities, much more potent.
Yeah, it was a rat or something that chewed through a cable at the Atlanta airport. Makes you wonder what a determined North Korean hacker could do. Hemu, Facebook posted on Tuesday that deleted profiles operated by the group and notified people who may have been in contact with suspicious accounts have been suspended. It seems like there can be a lot more that the tech companies could be doing.
Yeah, there is a lot more, and I think one of the things, like Arash just said, is educating the public. When they say update right now, you don't hit remind me later. You don't wait till 2 days or 3 days, because at the end of the day, WannaCry is a perfect example of what happens when the public says, I'll wait on the update. I don't care if it's a security update, rather than doing it now. And even the IT professionals in places like hospitals, this is a failure of people to keep their systems updated. Otherwise, this vulnerability never would have been exploited, because Microsoft had actually already released a new patch for that. And so I think what we have to really be concerned about more than anything else is, what if North Korea identifies what's called a zero-day vulnerability, something you can't even fix, and it takes a while to fix. You can really go way beyond the hundreds of thousands in the 150 countries and go into the millions, and that is a very serious danger that a tiny country can impose, or a large country, depending on what their interests and missions are.
I just want to finish with the U.S. National Security Advisor, H.R. McMaster. He kept up the pressure on North Korea on Tuesday. Listen to this.
Is there any way in which the U.S. can coexist with a nuclear North Korea?
Anthony, I don't think we can tolerate that risk. The world can't tolerate that risk. I mean, if North Korea has a nuclear weapon, I mean, who are you going to try to prevent getting one? I mean, look at the behavior of this regime, the hostility of this regime to the whole world.
Arash, we've got about 30 seconds left. So is that statement consistent with current policy and nothing to see here because it is being interpreted by some as sort of the opening door of potential military action?
You know, it's hard to see what the current policy is. You got Tillerson at the State Department. You got one of the adults at the White House, General McMaster, as National Security Advisor, and then you got the president. So General McMaster and Secretary Tillerson can talk about policy, talk about preventive measures, and talk about proportional response, but then every morning we wake up and the president sends out a tweet and it does set policy, it does wreak havoc, and it creates mayhem. So, but this is a serious problem. We have to take it seriously, and the only hope we have is to pressure the Chinese, to put pressure on the North Koreans, but the Chinese won't do that because A, the Chinese are masters of cyber attacks themselves. They have a cyber attack unit within the Chinese military and the intelligence service, and B, they would not want to increase too much pressure on the North Koreans because they're worried about instability that it may cause in case they lose their leverage on the Koreans. So it's a tough spot to be in, especially dealing with the Korean government of Kim Jong-un.
North Korea has never been easy. Arash and Hemu, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, John.